I have already recorded this once and I had my microphone off, so we are back again. Do you ever realize you're extremely late to the party on a specific idea or on a specific movement? A new game, a new fashion trend, a recent meme? That's how I feel about the CITV shutdown. Okay, so I knew CITV had shut down. I felt its absence on the telly when flicking through trying to find Quest Red so I could watch 4,000 repeats of Say Yes to the Dress on a random Tuesday, but it didn't fully register in my very distracted brain that CITV had actually shut down until I was looking through like those shut down TV channel compilation videos where they'd like record the TV channels closing like for good, and I saw it and it said CITV and I was like, CITV is dead? Before we jump in and get started with this bite-sized little mini dive of sorts, I want to quickly announce that my shop recently reopened with worldwide shipping. If you like nostalgic 90s, 2000s and 2010s media like I do, or you're obsessed with a multitude of other pieces of media like I also am, you might like some of the things that I make, including a few products that are final stock and will never be restocked again, like my photo card holder keychains I ran a Kickstarter for last year. You can check that out if you'd like, but it's just, I don't want to keep you guys, just want to give you a quick announcement before we jump into the video. For anyone who isn't fully aware, CITV was the ITV's children's broadcasting channel, which had a bit of a tumultuous history. It started off as a 1-hour weekday block on ITV called Watch It in the 80s, before being replaced by Children's ITV in 1983. During this time, ITV was being broadcasted by TV AM, which is probably like one of the most notoriously controversial TV broadcasters in the UK, maybe ever. But that is a very big sort of detailed topic about like broadcasting and TV channels and everything. A bit too big for a small video like this one. So I would like to redirect you to ALTV's video on the topic because it is very, very interesting. CITV didn't actually receive its name until the 90s, when it was renamed and the runtime of the block was extended to, I think, about 4 hours instead of the regular 2. It was now taking up a majority of the afternoon and early evening, with some TV shows for nursery school age children starting at 12 o'clock. It seems like CITV needs its own channel now, right? Well, it would. It would get its own channel. In 2006, so quite a bit of time later, but in 2006, CITV launched on the 6th of June, which was a wonderful, wonderful birthday present for then 3-year-old me. CITV broadcasted a significant amount of imported TV shows, far, far more than CBeebies and CBBC were at the time, which often commissioned their own programming, which was like quite British in nature. If you liked Sonic, if you liked Transformers, if you liked Pokemon, Ben 10, Art Attack, Teen Titans, Scooby-Doo, you were probably watching CITV. I have these very, very like distinct memories in my brain of watching CITV before school basically every single day from age 4 until age 13, trying to delay getting out the door for as long as possible so I could watch as much of the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl episode as I physically could. So they would put Pokemon Diamond and Pearl on the telly on the CITV at 8:20. I was leaving for school at that time. A lot of people I knew were leaving for school at that time. Why did they put the most banger show in the morning right as you were leaving? I don't know. I don't know. But for like a frame of reference, they'll talk about how cool CITV was. I had a little look at some of the like broadcasting like timelines, like the timetables for the day. And here is some of the absolute bangers that were playing on CITV in the morning of Thursday, the 18th of September, 2008. We had Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue. We had classic Ben 10, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and Stormhawk's Velocity. And during that day, you also had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Horrid Henry. You had so many other things as well. The morning was absolutely stacked. And on weekends, like I said, you had other shows like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Horrid Henry, and Canimals. I don't know if any of you remember Canimals, but it was a South Korean show that was quite literally just about can-shaped animals getting up to the wackiest hijinks every episode. Luckily, it is not lost media, thank the Lord, it's not lost media. You can go and watch all 52 episodes of Canimals right now on YouTube for completely free, and I highly suggest that you do so after watching this video. But sadly, all good things must come to an end, and CITV did, quite recently, as a matter of fact. With streaming services such as Netflix gaining popularity, as well as things like iPads, YouTube Shorts, like that sort of thing, which is a whole other can of worms about like child entertainment and things like that. That is far too much for this video. But those were the sorts of things that sort of triggered the gradual shutdown of CITV. In March of 2023, ITV announced that CITV would be merging with their streaming service, ITVX, which is basically, like I said, it's basically ITV, but could be streamed. A TV channel with a rather complicated history of moving from channels to other channels to being simulcasted, to having its own channel and onto a streaming service. It had a quiet end on the 1st of September, when it aired a final episode of the TV show The Rubbish World of Dave Spud, before quietly ceasing operation at 9 PM. Caption cards notified people of the switch to ITVX for exactly 1 month, before CITV's slot in the channel list was quietly removed. No fanfare, no goodbye, no nothing. Which I guess a TV channel dying isn't really something to be celebrated. It's just, in a lot of these compilations I saw, a lot of people would like, a lot of the channels would like thank people for supporting the channel over the years. They'd show like compilations of their best moments, that kind of thing. But like I said, I guess it's not really something to be celebrated officially, especially when we consider the why aspect of why TV channels like CITV are currently shutting down. I can guarantee for a lot of people, CITV was their first insight into things like anime and non-UK television. CITV was part of ITV, which I don't know if it counts as public access because it's not like I don't know if it's basically one of the standard channels that you get in the UK. You have the BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, that's like your main one, and then you have ITV, Channel 4, etc, etc, etc. ITV is one of the big main ones, basically. Most TV sets have it, and CITV was part of that section. It was a not free to access, but it was one of the easily accessible channels available on UK television at no extra cost, basically. Channels like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon were only available as part of larger TV packages which cost a monthly fee. So think Sky TV, Virgin Media, that kind of thing, which only my nan had for a short amount of time. So I did get to experience a smidgen of things like iCarly and Victorious and like your standard like Disney, Nickelodeon, etc. But not for very long. My childhood was all CITV, CBeebies, Boomerang, Milkshake, that kind of thing. So sort of in a way, CITV was a bit of a beacon in what sometimes felt like a vacuum of very British focused broadcasting. I also learned, while I was looking at some information for this video, that CITV was also the most popular broadcasting channel for kids in the UK for a pretty long time, due to its wide breadth of imported shows, and it also had some very, very iconic commissioned shows as well. I mentioned Horrid Henry earlier. That was a commissioned CITV product, which I haven't really talked about Horrid Henry much, but that was like a big part of my childhood. I read the books, I had the audio DVDs, I had the actual DVDs of the cartoon, I watched it on telly. But I kind of want to do a Horrid Henry video separate. I want to talk about the movie, and God, the movie was an absolute fever dream. Like I can probably visibly remember in my brain about 80% of that film, but I would like to do like a retrospective like deep dive into that whole film on its own and like the implications it had for like kids TV at the time and everything like that. Give me time to cook on that one, okay? But yes, I mean, I learned about the CITV shutdown officially last week, and I just wanted to share, like a fun little video with you guys to talk about how much I loved CITV and how cool it was, basically. I'm like Pokemon and things like that, and I think there was some other anime like I said, Sonic and Transformers. All of those were inspirations for what you see around me right now. My art, my expression, even my internet self. All of those things were informed by the media I consumed at a younger age on CITV, so I am forever grateful for what CITV has done. Well, not just me, but also thousands of other kids in the UK. If you like this video, consider giving it a like and subscribing if you'd like to see some more from me. Again, I want to quickly remind you all that I am also a full-time artist, creating products themed around 90s and 2000s nostalgia, toys and media. You're welcome to check those out if you'd like. I can guarantee if you like the things I talked about in this video, I've probably made something you would like as well. Like, there's all down there. It's all down there if you are curious. I am hoping to have another video out in 2 weeks' time about a completely different topic. It's just this is like a spur of the moment thing that completely overtook another video I was making. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the future videos to come. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and goodbye!